KPIs, which stands for Key Performance Indicators, are metrics that help you understand how effectively you practice its key business objectives. In the context of private practice, KPIs provide a clear lens through which you can evaluate the health of your business, from financial performance to client satisfaction and operational efficiency. This is essential information for any practice owner. By regularly measuring these indicators, practice owners can make informed decisions to help in understanding and therefore grow.
Welcome to the Colleague Down the Hall podcast. This episode is sponsored by the Collab Oasis Clinical Consultation Groups. Hi, I'm Janine Wolf, and I'm your colleague down the hall. I have a passion for helping fellow therapists get the clinical and collegial support we all need to do this work. And wow, it just keeps getting harder every day. I'm the founder and facilitator of the Collab Oasis Clinical Consultation Groups. I have been a social worker for almost 30 years, and I own a successful solo online private practice. More of us than ever are practicing in solo or online practices, and we all need colleagues to process cases with, commiserate with on those really hard days, and also to celebrate our successes with. In this podcast, I'll bring you insights about trends and changes in our field and sit down with amazing therapists who are doing amazing work. We'll discuss fictionalized cases, ways to practice sustainably, and of course, there will be plenty of laughing. I love laughing with friends. I'm so glad to have you as one of my colleagues down the hall.
Hello, everyone. You're listening to another episode of the Colleague Down the Hall podcast. I'm your host, Janine Wolf, and today I'm diving into an important topic for any private practice owner. That is key performance indicators, or KPIs. Understanding which KPIs to track can transform your practice from surviving to thriving. So let's start off with explaining what KPIs are and why they're so crucial for private practices. KPIs, which stands for Key Performance Indicators, are metrics that help you understand how effectively your practice is achieving its key business objectives. In the context of private practice, KPIs provide a clear lens through which you can evaluate the health of your business, from financial performance to client satisfaction and operational efficiency. This is essential information for any practice owner. By regularly measuring these indicators, practice owners can make informed decisions to help in understanding and therefore grow. For example, if you notice a drop in client retention areas, then you want to investigate why and implement strategies to improve. So KPIs are not just numbers, they're insights into what's working in your practice and what's not. So now let's look at some important KPIs for you to track with your private practice. Number one, client retention rate. This tells you the percentage of clients who return after their initial visit. High retention rates often correlate with client satisfaction and effective treatment. The client retention rate is a direct reflection of client satisfaction and service quality. A declining rate could indicate a lot of things, such as inadequate treatment or poor rapport building with clients. So by monitoring this, practices can proactively address problems before they escalate, ensuring the practice not only retains its client base, but also builds a stronger reputation. Number two, average revenue per client. This metric highlights the average amount a client spends per visit. It helps you gauge the financial health and pricing strategy for your practice. It can also tell you which insurance panels, if you accept insurance, your clients use the most, and it can help determine if there are some that you need to drop, that maybe their payment is so much less than others, or maybe they send back a lot of claims that you have to then deal with, causing a lot of extra work on your part. Number three, no-show rate. Tracking missed appointments is crucial as they directly impact your revenue and scheduling efficiency. This can also direct the policies you have around this. I have changed my policies around this many times over the years and have a more humanistic approach that balances with my need to have a certain amount of revenue. So however you decide to look at those policies around late cancellations and no-show fees, I do recommend that you bring your own values into this decision. I have talked to therapists who have very stringent policies that they have difficulty communicating to their clients about. And so that's telling me that they're not comfortable with some aspect of that policy and maybe they need to revisit it. But again, you do need to make steady income. And so you have to balance your needs as well as those of the client. Number 4, referral sources and networking. To enhance your practice's visibility and referral inflows, identify and nurture key referral sources such as other therapists, healthcare providers, schools, colleges, community organizations, etc. To begin moving the needle in this area, try to attend or participate in at least one networking event or meeting per month, and reach out to potential referral sources on a regularly scheduled basis to introduce your practice and discuss potential collaboration. Networking is powerful for growing your practice, so choose methods that you will actually implement. And also remember that when you have an unexpected cancellation, that's a good time to put some effort into your networking effort. That way you aren't struggling to have clients when you feel like your caseload is getting full, because you always will get those unexpected discharges. So continuous networking, even when your practice is going really well, is important. Client satisfaction is number 5. Through surveys and feedback forms, you can quantify how happy clients are with your service, which is pivotal for word of mouth referrals and loyalty. And if you're newer at this, you're going to find over time that you get lots of word of mouth referrals from former clients, from colleagues, from people who know what your specialty is and how good at your job you are. So understanding if your clients are happy is important. Number 6, operational efficiency. This can be measured by looking at the ratio of administrative costs to total revenue. This gives insight into how well your practice is managing its resources. It's not uncommon for business owners to be paying for services or subscriptions they no longer use and need to cancel. So this will help you stay on top of this. Or maybe you'll determine that you are paying for duplicative services that you can combine into one or the other. Again, the key is we want to make sure that all of those extra costs that go out, that maybe get charged automatically to your business credit card every month, that you're keeping an eye on those things. So now let's shift to how to begin implementing KPI tracking. For many of us who are practitioners first and business owners second, which is most of us when we first start a private practice anyway, the idea of tracking these metrics might seem daunting, so we need to start simple. Use a spreadsheet that you can update weekly and analyze it both monthly, quarterly, and at the end of the year. This will allow you to see trends and make any necessary adjustments. And keep in mind, there are other aspects of your business that might be important to you as well. The longevity of each client is another example. So if there are any aspects of your practice that are especially important to you, or makes your practice more unique or is a good revenue source for you, then make sure that you add those for your KPI tracking as well. If managing the business aspects of running a small business is overwhelming, I encourage you to reach out to your city's small business association. Most have lots of free resources, and some even provide mentors to help you better understand the many aspects involved in running a small business. And I talk to a lot of therapists who don't really understand that having a therapy practice is running a small business. And so I really encourage you to get into that mindset. There are things that you have to do as a small business. There are things that you need to learn about to run an effective small business. And so try and wrap your head around that and reach out for some resources. Remember, the goal of tracking KPIs is not just to collect data, but to create a roadmap for improvement. Each KPI you track should lead to actionable insights that drive your practice forward. I hope this episode helps you harness the power of KPIs to enhance your private practice and your private practice journey. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me today. For all of you hardworking therapists out there, please remember our work is hard, but it doesn't have to be lonely.
Thank you so much for listening to the Colleague Down the Hall podcast. For show notes, links, and downloads, head over to colleaguedownthehall.com, where you'll be able to learn more about getting the clinical support you need and resources to help you work in a supported, sustainable way. If you've enjoyed this episode, please share with your therapy friends and colleagues. Subscribe to the podcast, and if you love this episode, please leave a review.